Breaking news, Jaden Rashada announces that he wants out of his national letter of intent that he submitted to Florida. And listen, this whole timeline, y'all, is crazy. And potentially the rumors around what's going on and where Rashada can land is huge. But before we get into it, please go ahead, hit that like and the subscribe button. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments below. My goodness, recruiting season. This is the gift that just keeps on giving. So let's run through the timeline real quick of Jaden Rashada. So for Oklahoma fans that might be watching this, you know that Jaden Rashada was a guy that Oklahoma was looking at. Ultimately, Arnold committed first. So Rashada kind of lost that here at Oklahoma. But he went and checked out for the first time Miami on an unofficial visit on March 31st. On April 22nd, Rashada takes his first official visit to Ole Miss, marking his fourth trip to Ole Miss. On May 15th, Rashada named his top 7 schools, including Florida, and set his commitment date for June 18th. On May 25th, Rashada took a 2-day trip to Gainesville for his first ever unofficial visit to Florida. On June 3rd, Rashada traveled to A&M for his second official visit and only trip to College Station. On June 5th, Rashada took his third official visit to LSU and second trip to Baton Rouge in 6 weeks. June 7th, Rashada makes his return trip to Gainesville for his official visit to the Gators. June 16th, Rashada pushes back his commitment to June 26th for more time to think and reflect. June 21st, Rashada returns to Miami for his 5th and final official visit ahead of his decision. And then on June 26th, Jaden Rashada committed to Miami over Florida, LSU, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M. Longtime University of Florida donor and founder of the NIL collective Gator Guard, Hugh Hathcock, announces big news coming in the next day. That was on November 9th. On the November 10th, you all remember this, Jaden Rashada flipped his commitment from Miami to the University of Florida in the wee hours of the morning. December 21st, the wait for Rashada's letter of intent causes Billy Napier's news conference to be delayed over an hour, but he eventually ended up signing with the Gators. On the 29th of December, after Napier said Rashada could come right over to the University of Florida after the Under Armour All-American game, the QB signing confirmed his plans to arrive on January 5th. Here we are, January 8th through the 9th. Rashada does not report to campus with the other mid-year enrollees to move in day and on moving day and the start of classes on Monday. And ultimately we get to where we're at today on January 11th, and Rashada is now announcing that he wants out of his national letter of intent. And you're hearing that there has been a lot of NIL missteps that led to Rashada losing trust with Florida, and that Florida and Miami are pretty much out of this now. And the question is, where is he going to go? Well, obviously Texas A&M has got to be an option. Texas A&M and LSU are obviously there because those were 2 schools that were in his recruitment to begin with. But, and I mean, take this for, the softest, smallest grain of salt you can think of. I heard a very faint rumor this morning of Colorado and Jaden Rashada potentially being mutually interested in each other. If this was to happen. Now, I don't know how true that is, so don't be holding me to that like it's gospel. But if that's the truth, and Coach Prime can go out there and land Jaden Rashada as his quarterback of the future after, Shadur's not going to be able to play there forever. He's just not. And if he can go out there and land his quarterback of the future, this is going to be really interesting. But like I said, you can't count LSU out. You can't count Texas A&M out. I would say Ole Miss is potentially still in this, even though Lebby was his main recruiter at Ole Miss. But yeah, this is big because you now have a top 10 quarterback, a borderline 5-star quarterback that is uncommitted in this cycle heading into National Signing Day. Uncommitted. Not even committed now. And this is huge for the Gators because if you're the Florida Gators, yeah, you have DJ Lagway coming in 2024, but what are you going to do in 2023? And are you really going to start DJ Lagway in 2024? Because we all know that's not that's not a good option to start your young quarterback that first year. It's just not a good option. And Florida and Miami have been in bidding wars with each other all year long. We've seen it with a lot of recruits. Probably one of the most notable ones is Samson Okunawalola. And then you have Cormani McClain, which as of right now, neither one of them have. And so you look at this, and you're looking at this NIL battle in Florida and the struggle between these two powerhouses. And I mean, and there's more. There's other guys outside of just those two. But this is very interesting. I mean, everything that's transpiring here and happening with Florida and Jaden Rashada, and then the battles that we've seen with Florida and Miami on the recruiting trail, I think it's something noteworthy to watch. Because remember, we had the same thing with Malik Bryant, too. The 4-star linebacker, borderline top 100 player in the country. So it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out, and we will definitely be covering some of the Jaden Rashada news. And, like I said, right now, I think my favorites for him, A&M, LSU, Ole Miss, and I'm going to put Colorado in that mix. So we're going to see if Coach Prime can maybe sneak in there and potentially land himself a future quarterback, or if Brian Kelly or Jimbo Fisher are going to be able to go out there and they're going to be able to close the deal. So go ahead, jump down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys are thinking. And one more thought, actually. Texas A&M is an interesting option because Texas A&M now has Bobby Petrino. And they didn't originally have Bobby Petrino when he was originally being recruited and been on campus for A&M. So that one could definitely play a factor, and I think is something that we potentially should look at. So go ahead, jump down in the comments below, guys. Let me know what you guys are thinking about the decommitment of Jaden Rashada. Where do you think he will land? Do you think that he could be a Colorado Buffalo, an LSU Tiger, a Texas A&M Aggie, or an Ole Miss Rebel at the end of this recruiting cycle?